It's a trilby, not a fedora. Hey everybody, Sol here. I have only one rule here. If it's animated, I'll comment on it. Remember last week, in my last review, I made an offhand remark about a certain something that I didn't elaborate on. What was that line again? No, not that one. And he certainly isn't a whiny bitch, that's for sure. And why did I say that, you might ask? Well, it will all be made clear in time, my dear ones. Yeah, that one. Well, it's time for some ninja-flavored follow-up to that statement with today's review of the Lego Ninjago Movie! Can I get an amen to that? The Lego Ninjago Movie is a 3D animated Danish-American co-production film directed by Charlie Bean, Paul Fisher, and Bob Logan, produced by Animal Logic, and is an indirect adaptation of the Lego Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu television show and Lego toy line. The film was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures and premiered on September 22nd, 2017 in the United States, becoming the third film in the Lego cinematic universe and the first to be based off of an original Lego concept.
Hey, didn't you already review this movie? Like, you did a review of it before. I can't believe it. You said shit. I can't believe you. All that stupid hat you're wearing. You're just an IHG ripoff. Everybody hates you. Fuck.
But yes, he is right. I did review this movie, actually, as part of a Sol at the Movies review after it came out, when it was still in theaters. But, well, I have a brand new perspective on it, considering I hadn't watched the TV series when I went to see the movie originally, and now I have watched the TV series in its entirety. So, I guess I can squeeze a few more drops of review juice out of this little morsel here. And, well, I still have my tiny little balls available for sucking if you have a problem with that. So, without further ado, or ball sucking, I present to you the Lego Ninjago Movie. Hey, ninjas are cool, right? Well, that's the plot. I'm not even kidding this time, actually. The plot summary is about as shallow as just saying, ninjas are cool, and I bet that was the extent of the effort put into the script, so fuck it. I'm about to describe a plot so thin and insipid it would get shamed out of a wet t-shirt contest run by anorexics. Basically, the plot is that everyone hates Lloyd Garmadon, the son of the evil villain Lord Garmadon, because Garmadon destroys Ninjago and wants to conquer whatever's left with his aquatic-themed army. But when Lloyd accidentally summons a cat named Meowthra straight from the depths of the uncanny valley, he must learn to put aside his differences with his estranged father to obtain the ultimate weapon. Ow. This plot, it just sucks. Plain and simple. It sucks hard. Oh, but the plot is the least of this movie's problems, believe me. And we'll get to those problems shortly, but we gotta get through the characters first. I'll be the first to offer my condolences. So first we have Kai, the Nope, this is about Lloyd, and only Lloyd. Everything else is nothing, and Lloyd must have your attention at all times. Right, so fuck all of you who wanted to see your favorite ninja from the television show come to the big screen, because it's nothing but the Lloyd show now. Seriously, Lloyd has got to be the most irritating, whiny piece of bitch I've ever had the displeasure to listen to. Well, since Jean, that is. If whining was an Olympic sport, Lloyd would have taken the gold before he even entered, because every single line of dialogue he utters is just a constant barrage of complaining, droning, and inanities so completely devoid of weight or genuine emotion that my joy-deprived medulla oblongata commits seppuku in protest. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Lloyd is the green ninja in this one too, but his power is actually green this time. You realize that's retarded, right? No? Thought so. Really, Lloyd should run a vineyard for all the whining he produces. What else can I say? Lloyd is far and away one of the most unlikable and aggravating bitches I've ever seen simper their way onto my screen, and for that, all I can say is just, fuck you. Now this is the part where I would talk about the other 5 ninja in the group, but there's no point. And that's because they are so unbelievably inconsequential to the story that they may as well not be there at all. I know I say that quite a bit in a non-literal sense, but this is a billion times literal, trust me. None of the other ninjas serve any other purpose than to give Lloyd more props to whine at. So again, all I can say is, fuck you. Fine, okay, next there's Master Wu, who is... Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong footage. That's Vitruvius, the wise old mentor from the Lego Movie. Anyway, this is Master Wu, who is... No, that's wrong too. That's the sympathetic and kind Wu from the TV show. Can't you just... No, that's Master Jin from the Little Panda Fighter. Hold on a sec. Okay, that should be better. Now, this is Master Wu, the ninja's mentor who is neither amusing, nor kind, nor sympathetic, or even worth talking about in the long run. So we're gonna skip him. Damn. I shot my editor for no reason. Let's finish off this short bus ride with Lord Garmadon, who is a real villain this time around that aspires to destroy and conquer Ninjago for whatever reason. I think whoever decided it would be a good idea to remove every single element that made Garmadon an interesting character, such as his tragic duality, legitimate desire to be with his son but being unable to, and his efforts to redeem himself in the eyes of his loved ones, truly deserves to be kicked in the balls. Or pussy. We don't discriminate around here. Instead, let's just make Garmadon like Lord Business from the Lego Movie, without any of the elements that made him interesting in the first place too. Hey, it worked for Wu. Why not do it again? Well, I said a hack a day keeps the interest away, so... Okay, it's time to cool down a tad and talk about some of the things that this movie does well. Well, not things. Still, in the interest of fairness, I will say that this movie is very well animated, just like its predecessors. The animation is very busy and still retains that good old Lego charm that unfortunately does not successfully prop up the overpowering weight of this movie's problems. So let's rip into them, shall we? I got my gear ready. Where to begin? Oh, I know. You know my review of Masters of Spinjitzu television series that I just did? Good. Okay. So then, basically, just pretend that review was uploaded on opposite day. That's all I need to say, really. The way to sum up all of this movie's problems would be to just take all my glowing praise from the television show and just do everything contrary to that praise. Instead of building a relatable and engaging set of characters with a well-defined dynamic, let's just make it all about Lloyd, turn him into Bitchmaster General, and push everyone else into the background. Let's take the glorious score and mesmerizing sound design and turn it into a load of incomprehensible cacophonous noise. Oh, how about you take the idea of a team of powerful, skilled ninja with elemental powers and instead make them completely inept at being ninja, have them use their powers a total of 2 times throughout the entire movie, and go to high school for no fucking reason. Or, hey, why don't we just take the entire concept of Lego Ninjago as a whole and take a big, wet, smelly dump all over it? Well, here is the result of that big, smelly dump, and it's called the Lego Ninjago Movie. Beyond all that though, this is something I don't often bring up, but this movie has some of the most atrocious writing I've ever heard from an animated movie. I don't often mention writing because cartoons aren't exactly known for their stellar prose, but this movie is on the level of characters just blurting out their motivations and relationships ad nauseum without ever making an actual point. That's right, folks. This $70 million movie with a team of 6 writers is on the same level as The Room. That horrid writing is most evident in the fact that this movie is not only afflicted with a fatal case of plot diarrhea that effectively climaxes in the first 10 minutes, but it's also about 90% first act, much like Le Magasin de Suicide. There's no traditional scene structure or plot progression, which makes this thing feel about a quadricentillion fuckadillion times longer than it needs to, and I just have no tolerance for that bullshit. Look, you see this here? You see this? It's not that hard, for fuck's sakes! And speaking of for fuck's sakes, I have to point out the live-action portions of this thing, which bookend it with two giant monoliths made of pure cringe, and sprinkled with a slight spice of terrible child actor for good measure. But that's still not enough awful for this movie, because it's nothing but a non-stop battering to the senses. Don't believe me? Here, look!
Feet bombs, some rockets, spines,
This movie shouldn't be called the Lego Ninjago Movie, it should be called Shut Up! The Movie! Because all I want to do while watching it is scream, SHUT UP! SHUT UP! To everyone and everything! Really, do I need to say any more than that? Actually, yes I do. Can you tell me why you thought turning my favorite character Cole into a music-loving DJ that has barely 20 lines of dialogue through the entire thing was a good idea? No. Nope. That's enough. I refuse to say any more on this front. Let us move on. The Lego Ninjago Movie is... I mean, what the hell happened here? Why did the creators not just use their inflated budget to make a high-quality continuation of the series? What was wrong with that? Now, I'm not saying that this movie's bad because it's different from the show. No, I'm saying it's bad because it's incredibly disrespectful to the show. Other than the appealing animation and charm that the LEGO Cinematic Universe has in spades, this movie is like a scorching dumpster fire that only intensifies over time. Really, my hatred for this movie seems to double with every single rewatch. Luckily, I'll never be forced to watch it again after now, so it can go be shit wherever it pleases, as long as it isn't anywhere near me. And I sorely urge you to never give this green, grievous gremlin the time of day. Not now, not ever. I give the Lego Ninjago Movie. Half an eye out of 5. So, the Lego Ninjago Movie. Is it watchable? Well, even though the animation is incomprehensible at times and they even resort to reusing shots, if you can believe that, that would still get a yes from me. Is it enjoyable? Considering that this movie seems to make me madder than even the likes of Planet Sheen or even Garbage Pail Kids, that is a firm no from me. Is it memorable? Well, if you consider needing therapy after watching the movie memorable, then maybe. Possibly. But if I could commend this movie for one thing, it's that it was so off-putting and backward that it got me curious enough to check out the Lego Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu television show. To my great pleasure. And I guess that's something, I suppose. Would you like to stay up to date on the latest EyeofSol news, as well as contribute directly to my channel? You can find my Twitter page, my Facebook page, and my link to my Patreon page there on the screen for you, as well as in the description. I update the Twitter and Facebook pages every day, so if you want to check out news on the show, as well as updates, just follow the links here.
Shaka run, shaka run, shaka run, shaka run.